Please make sure to stay until the very end of the video because I am going to be sharing with you some very special bonus tips that I have not shared directly into my videos, and you want to stay tuned because this is very crucial information that I'm going to share with you. Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and this is actually part 5 and the final video of the TpT Boot Camp series. And let me just say, if you're watching this video and you have watched all 4 previous videos from the TpT Boot Camp series, then give yourself a round of applause. Like, pat yourself on the back, like, get a coffee, whatever you need to do, because you are the real MVP. I'm embarrassing. You are the real I can't say it. You are the real MVP in this series because you have stuck it out all the way through and watched every single one of my videos of this series. And you may have found me because you downloaded the TpT Boot Camp guide that I have to offer, or you are just a loyal subscriber to my YouTube channel and you're like, yeah, I like this series that Kelsey is doing. Or maybe you just found me on the whim somehow in the YouTube universe. You found what you were looking for through my videos. Either way, glad you're here, and I am excited to be wrapping up this TpT Bootcamp series in a bow in realizing what can you do next after you have your first product or maybe several products in your TpT store right now. What can you do to drive more traffic into your TpT store, and with more traffic meaning more sales? What's one of the first steps you can do to get that traffic? And that's what we're going to be talking about today in terms of building a TpT email list. But before we dig in, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell down below so that you're notified of new videos on my channel every week. And please, if you like this series, please let me know down below in the comments, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up because it does support me and this channel, and of course it helps me help you in the long run. Now, as you're watching this, you are probably wondering, well, Kelsey, why is it important that I have a TpT email list? I'm going to tell you why. Being able to build a TpT email list, or even an email list in general for other resources or anything else that you have to offer, it's going to actually help you get fresh ideas of resources. Because when you open the line of communication with the people on your TpT email list and say, hey, if there are specific resources that you are needing right now, please let me know. And the people that are like, hey, I would love to see a resource on this, this, and this, then it's a way that you can communicate with your audience and actually give them what it is that you were looking for. You want to be able to provide a solution to their problems, i.e. their problems of like, I don't have this resource on TpT, or I don't really have the time. Could you create it? And if you have the time and you know what it is that they're looking for and you're able to create it, you can be that person to offer that for them. Which does kind of lead into point 2, and it is a way to connect with other teachers. So other teachers who also sell on TpT, or who offer online courses or do live webinars, whatever it may be. Knowing that you are in a community of other like-minded people in terms of creating resources or online courses, that sort of thing, it makes you feel connected, and it also validates what you're doing with the email list and what you are doing to help other teachers, essentially. And finally, it's also a very good opportunity to advertise, hey, this is something new that I have in my shop. And that way, more people see that email list and they go, ooh, this is something I've been looking for, which ultimately in the end means that there's more eyes on your resources on TpT, which means more income coming through on your store. And not just like little income, which I know I've talked about a lot on passive income in terms of like it starts out small, which is true, but it's not going to stay small forever. You'll start seeing income that can replace your full-time income. Real quick, do you need some inspiration for creating resources for your TpT or Etsy shops? I'm not going to gatekeep this information from you. I have been exploring the world of scavenger hunts, escape rooms, and digital resources thanks to Think Tank's Easy Escape Rooms. This course will be able to help you make over 38,000 different escape room combinations that you can use for your classroom or for any digital resource that you want to sell on Teachers Pay Teachers or Etsy. The investment that I made in this course has been returned and then some. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and sign up today so that you can go ahead, start creating these resources and start selling products. So now that we know the why behind having a TpT email list, we now need to get to the how. Because if we just say, hey, sign up for my TpT email list, it's not going to be enticing for anyone to sign up for because you're not really showing something like a reason why someone should sign up. Most of the time, if we're like, hey, come do this thing with me, usually we need something to entice us to actually go, because in our minds, we're just like, yeah, thanks for the invite. However, what do I get out of this? So what I most definitely recommend that you should do to build your TpT email list is offering a free resource that is too irresistible to pass up. So for example, my TpT Boot Camp guide is something that I have created, and also the video series that is part of the TpT Boot Camp guide that is just awesome tips that I have learned for the past few years having a TpT store that I want to share my knowledge with you. And I don't want to gatekeep it. I want you to know this information as well. So I made the series and the guide so that way you have all the tips on how you can get started in your TpT store, which makes it enticing. You're like, yes, I don't know what to do to grow my store, but it seems like Kelsey knows how. So you're going to be enticed to download the guide, to have that guide with you whenever you feel stuck, or if you're like, oh, how should I do this step? Or how do I build an email list? You know, maybe you're watching this and you're like, man, maybe I don't want to do that yet, but maybe later you want to go back to it and build that email list. Just know, usually a way to get people to sign up for your email list is to offer them a guide that they cannot resist. And in exchange for you giving them that guide, they give you their email address. So i.e. the email list. That's how most people generally build an email list, is they have a free guide to give to someone. And that's sort of the formal exchange, essentially, is they get a guide, you get their email. Now, that's not to say that you don't have to do like a guide. You don't have to sit there and plan like, oh, what's something I can offer? Like, can I do a bootcamp series? Can I do a guide to signing something up like this? No, you don't have to do that. If you are just simply a teacher and you just want to grow your TpT store, then you can offer a free worksheet. It can be a free coloring worksheet. It can be a free lesson plan for teachers or an outline of lesson plans. Whatever it is in your niche, you can offer that as long as you just make it too irresistible to pass up for other teachers. That's how you're going to build your email list. So just keep that in mind if you're not someone like me or other online teachers that are just like, hey, we're going to make a TpT boot camp, or we're going to say how to sign up for this online teaching platform, or how to build your own online business, you know, whatever that is. So if that's not you and you want to do just a worksheet, that's fine as well. Now, with this free resource that is too irresistible to pass up, the easiest way that you can start with the email list is there are 2 websites you can do that are absolutely free starting out with. And those 2 websites are MailChimp and Email Octopus. And I'll make sure to have those links down below in the description so that way you can sign up for them right away. And the links are also going to be in the TpT Boot Camp guide as well, so that way you can click on them right away to get started. So because you can start them out for free, all you would need to do for each platform, and they run pretty similarly, is you have to create a landing page. And when you create that landing page, this is where it will prompt people when they click on a Pinterest pin or a link in your bio that says, get this free worksheet, this free guide here. When people click on that link, and it can be in a box or it could be a picture like Pinterest, whatever that looks like, people will click on it and it will prompt them to a landing page where it prompts them to say, hey, share your email address and your name here to get your free guide. So this is where the exchange happens. So they give you their email and their name and they hit submit. And when they hit submit, they either get a welcome email that sends them to a direct link to that guide, or once they hit submit, it will take them directly to the free resource. What I personally like to do is, because since my TpT Boot Camp guide is going to be on TpT for the landing page, once they submit their email and their name, it's gonna go directly to the TpT website with the free guide and the free download right away. So that way, there is an opportunity for them to also follow my TpT shop as well. So not only are they on my email list, but they're also getting updates on when I have new resources on my TpT shop. And there is also an option that if you created the worksheet or the guide on Canva, Canva does have a view-only link that you can click on, that once people sign up for the email list, that link, they can also be redirected to a view-only link. So that way they have access to that guide as well. However, there is no shame in having just a PDF. So that way it's just permanent and you don't have to worry about any Canva glitches, or if Canva is down, the PDF is already downloaded and ready to go. So that's also to keep in mind, because Canva does have some maintenances every now and then. Obviously, that's also something to put into consideration if you're wanting to do just an automatic PDF, or if you want a view-only link, or if you want to send them directly to another website to get the resource, essentially. And one thing that I have shared on here before is also sharing your free product, your free resource on Pinterest. And what I'm talking about is actually downloading a PNG of the cover of your worksheet or your guide, whatever that may look like, and then creating that link where it sends them directly to that landing page on Pinterest. And I do like Pinterest because the longevity of pins is much longer than on Twitter. It's much longer on Instagram and on Facebook. Like Pinterest pins, like they just have, I think it's a span of like 6 months of like being like active, or not being like as buried as it would be for like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. So I have learned that somewhere before. So that's why I generally like to share things on Pinterest, is that there's just more longevity in the resources. All right, so now we're in a place where I can share bonus tips for you. And this is absolutely crucial when it comes to seasonal resources. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a little crazy to start thinking about Christmas resources in September and October. I know there are people in that camp where it's just like, I do not want to hear a single Christmas song until it's at least December. Like, I get the vibes, I really do. But when it comes to resources, the sooner the better when it comes to offering those resources. You do not want to be creating Christmas resources a week before Christmas. First of all, that stresses you out. And second of all, there's not going to be enough people to see that product when they need it the most. So we have to think smarter, not harder, when it comes to holiday and seasonal resources. So if you do have the TpT Boot Camp guide, then you know there is the bonus section on here with my holiday resource creation calendar. And this is where I have broken down which months you should work on certain resources. And I know, like, what you will see here, it may be a little weird at first. However, when that season comes and you start seeing sales on seasonal products, then you're gonna be like, oh, thank goodness, Kelsey. Like, thank you so much for those tips. Because you don't have to worry about it during that season. And we know that as much as we want to make evergreen content, and we do want to make evergreen content, we also should dive into the seasonal options as well and making them evergreen seasonal products, if that makes sense. So it can work for many Christmases to come, or for many back to school seasons to come, or Father's Day seasons, or Mother's Days, graduations. Like, it's good for that holiday, but it's good for years to come. I guess that's what I mean by seasonal evergreen, or evergreen seasonal. You know what I mean. So think about it. April to June, go ahead and start creating back to school resources. June and July, start thinking about fall. July, Halloween. August, Thanksgiving. September, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. October, winter. November, Valentine's. So I will put that somewhere. You get the gist. You have to plan this out months ahead of time for seasonal products, because people are also going to be looking for these seasonal products before the actual season happens. And if you already have them up, that people are going to be more willing to buy it right then and there, because they see it, it's there. We want to see those sales, right? That was the whole point of this video series, right? We want to see sales. Now, when you do create your resources, make sure to use specific holiday keywords and SEO research in your resources title and description. And make sure that you do actually select the specific holiday under the subject area tab on TpT. That also makes a difference for seasonal products. And make sure to actually use specific holiday artwork and thumbnails for your TpT seasonal resources. So whatever that may be, make sure to use the appropriate resource, so that way in visual aspects, we know it's either Christmas or it's Easter or back to school or fall, whatever that may be. And like I said, when we want to offer these seasonal resources right away, we want to actually go ahead and start promoting these seasonal resources sooner than better. So, like I said, you would be surprised that in the month of September and October, how many people are already looking for Christmas things. I'm serious when I say that. And I know I'm already going to be promoting all over my social media and on here about the Easy Escape Rooms and Scavenger Hunts bundle that Think Tank is doing right now, where you get both Easy Escape Rooms and Scavenger Hunts, which I have both taken those courses personally, all for the price of the Easy Escape Room. So you get both of those. So you get the Scavenger Hunts for free. And I'm already telling you now that those resources are what's selling really well. And I'm just so shocked at how well those sell. Like, I never thought, like, especially for like my Etsy shop, I never thought like I would get so close to being a star seller. And I've only had my shop since August of 2023. Like, when I'm filming this is October of 2023. I've only had my shop for 2 months, and I'm already like one step closer to being a star seller. And that is, I'm just saying, it works. Anywho, thank you so much for tuning into the series. And if there are any other topics that you want me to go over, please let me know down below, or any other questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be a series. I just thought I could do a series on this because I know so many of you enjoy asking questions about TpT and being like, hey Kelsey, what do you know more about TpT? And I'm so happy that I've been able to provide this resource for you in the guide. And if you have not downloaded the TpT Boot Camp yet, please, please, please download it down below in the description box, because I am proud of this resource that I have created for you all that goes along with the video series. So that way, the links on the videos will actually be in the guide. If you ever need to go back and watch the videos, they're always going to be there. So as long as YouTube's around, it's going to be there. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.